And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Monday, April 19th. We're back. Starting off another work week, the only way we know how. Breaking down all 9 games on a Monday slate. So, good morning to everybody. I see an absolute ton of coffee cups in our chat right now. Lots of people here out of the gates, starting this Monday off right. Shout out to Patrick Bush. Thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it a ton. Happy to see you here every morning, man. Great. Great to see everybody here. Appreciate it. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I did. It was fun. I had a good time. It was very nice weather here. Had some friends over, relaxed, ate some food, had some cocktails, played some yard games. It was good. A lot of cornhole, a lot of ladder golf, a lot of coob. Talked about that a little bit on the strategy show yesterday. It's a good time. It's a good time. King Zorro. Took down my first Draftkings GPP with a single lineup. Ooh. Hundy spot. Get that 100K. King Zorro. Congratulations. Congratulations. Share some with me. Share some with the rest of us. That's good, man. Seriously, congratulations. That's awesome. I know the feeling of waking up with a pretty sizable win, and it is unrivaled in life. That's awesome. That's truly awesome. Oh, yeah, we got a lot to work through. 18 teams. It's a big one. Yeah, tomorrow will be a little bit easier. Caveat for today. Contenders videos will likely be out pretty late, sometime in the afternoon. Having some work done at the house today. We have to shut off power to the home. So I am not going to be able to record them after I'm done this process show. Uh-oh, I'm dropping frames too. That's not fun. Anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So I'm expecting contenders to be out a little bit later in the afternoon. I am going mobily and recording strategy show today with someone else. No Laffy today, by the way. Surprise guest, Adam Scher, joining us today. So tune into the strategy show for that bad boy. Now is the time that we've all been waiting for. Coffee cups, Siggies, whatever you got today. Let's start the work week off right. Let's start today off right. Let's get a little positive energy going. I'm a little low right now. Give me 15 minutes. Give me a couple more sips of this stuff, and I'll be right as rain. But good morning, good luck. I hope everybody had a good weekend, and now I hope everybody starts off a fantastic work week. Still a little hot. That was a little hotter than I wanted it to be, but we'll be all right. Let's do this bad boy. Let's go like that, and then like that, and now let's do this show. Alrighty, first team up: Boston Celtics. Kemba Q tag, Jaylen Brown Q tag, Tatum probable. No Robert Williams, still no Evan Fournier. This should be a blast. Real fun stuff. Just coffee today, Jackie. That's good. Ooh, I dare you. Second in a golf tournament this week. It's also good. It's good to see all the success. Andres, good morning. Morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody. Alrighty, let's keep this moving. So, I mean, I don't really know what else I can do in this Boston situation. Kemba Q tag. The Jaylen Brown Q tag, I guess, is probably a little bit more important. I'm going to assume that everybody for Boston is in that can be in, except for, obviously, Robert Williams. So let's get Time Lord out of there. Let's bump back up Tristan Thompson's minutes at the 5. We're going to have to give Jabari Parker some run, which is different. Let's see. Who else? Tatum, Smart, Walker. Mo Wagner, not on the team any longer. And give Jabari 16 minutes. Give Grant Williams 21. The rest of this should all be pretty okay. I guess maybe I need to give Luke Cornett some time, but at the same time, I don't know where those minutes are going to come from. I would mostly just be taking them from Jabari anyway. Let's do that, I guess. There we go. 21 for Grant Williams. That makes more sense. But everybody else should be good. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Kemba, all those guys should be playing the same amount of minutes. So I think we're going to like a little bit of Boston. Celtics are at home 8.5-point favorites against the Bulls. So we're going to be looking at Tristan Thompson, 4,400 on FanDuel, 4,700 on DraftKings would be the first priority, I think. Kemba, second. There's not a ton to like. They're not high-end priorities for Boston, but Tristan Thompson, Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. To me, all four of those guys are strong plays as part of a core. Guys you would rotate through. I wouldn't expect any of them to be in like my top 15 or 20, though. So let's keep that one moving. Then Boston in the books already. On to their opponent, the Chicago Bulls. I feel like the teams next to each other in like when they like, I feel like the schedule is weird right now for the way that games pop up. Jerry, Grant Williams for 3K on DraftKings isn't going to be all that viable. He's not a very good fantasy player. He needs a lot of minutes. All right, on to the Bulls. What do we got going on in Chicago? Just Zach LaVine. Okay, so that's actually oddly easy to project. You know, you get Vooch at 33 minutes. That's cool. Markkanen did see a little bit of a bump the second game. Satoransky a bit less so. Looks like Archie didn't get back in. They are giving more minutes to Garrett Temple, which was sort of expected. Kobe White into the 30s. I'm actually going to gut this entire thing. I think it might be easier to start from scratch. So I'm going to give Kobe White 31 minutes. Backup point guard run is going to go to probably Sato, right? Along with maybe a couple extra minutes. We'll get Garrett Temple. He'll probably end up playing like the 3. Troy Brown continuing to play. A little surprising, but we'll give him those minutes anyway. Daniel Tice down to 20 and 22 minutes now. I think Markkanen is going to be the guy that benefits the most here, but we shall see. It's weird that Patrick Williams is the one that's going to get the minutes no matter what. All right, so let's get Tice. Man, I'm not comfortable. I thought I was going to be pretty comfortable projecting out this Bulls rotation, and I'm not. Let's do something like that. All right. The Patrick Williams minutes, those are going to be, at least should be the easier ones to do. We'll give him 28. I'm going to give Temple 26. And that leaves me, in theory, 20 for Denzel Valentine, but I don't totally trust that. So I'm going to give him 18. Yeah, it looks like this is going to be Kobe White and Kobe White only for all intents and purposes here. So again, the Bulls are taking on Boston. Kobe White, 4,700 on FanDuel. Looked good. That definitely the best thing we've seen so far. Kobe White, 5,400 on DraftKings. Looks solid. Nothing crazy. Vooch would be your second best option, and that's on FanDuel. After that, I'm not really seeing a ton from the Bulls here that we should be all that excited about. Just not there for me. Which is no surprise. I mean, taking on Boston, it's not a good DFS spot. All right, I need more coffee. All right, Cleveland Cap, great. Cavs Pistons. Oh, I pity anyone that watches this game. Larry Nance out. No Windler, no Dotson. So let's get Larry Nance out of there. I entered the total in incorrectly for this game. Definitely not 2,000 points. Otherwise, everybody's going to look pretty damn good. All right, so what do we got going on for this crazy Cavs team that is just really not a group of people that I want to be playing? 62 viewers, 31 likes. We got to hit that thumbs up a little bit. Jared Allen. Yeah, he's back up to just like a solid 32 minutes. Isaiah Hartenstein appears to just be the straight backup at the very least. I'm going to give Kevin Love 29 minutes. Torian Prince, I think, can bump up if they're not going to be playing Chetty any longer. So that leaves me 18 minutes hanging in the breeze. I guess they're just going to go to Chetty, probably. That seems like the most likely scenario. I'm going to give one more minute to Garland and Sexton, just in case that makes them pop up a little bit more. I guess Okoro needs to get back into the 30s. And we'll give 14 minutes to Chetty. Jackie, I'm not sure what you need thoughts on other than profiting 1 out of 10. Going 1-9 in full MME is not crazy at all. You need a lot more than 10 slates. I'd be looking more at like percentiles of lineups more so than just profitability. You should be profiting less frequently MMEing. You got to remember, only 25% of the player pool basically is going to pay out. So, going 1 out of every 4 days is not shocking. Alrighty, Cleveland Cavs. Jared Allen on FanDuel is only 6,800. That's a pretty nice price tag for him, particularly against the Pistons. So I don't mind that. Kevin Love for 5,900, especially if he's going to be getting 30 minutes a game. That seems pretty reasonable to me. It's not a good spot against this Pistons team, but ain't bad either. Yeah, there's just not a lot to like here for Cleveland. I don't see Sexton or Garland as any sort of priorities. So I guess we just keep it moving. Let's add everybody together now. Get an idea of where the player pool stands. So it's Boston, Chicago, Cleveland. And Boston, Chicago, Cleveland. So yeah, Kobe White at the top of the list on both sites so far, but I would expect him to get pushed down quite a bit. Probably finish off in like the 7 or 8 range, if I had to guess. Not a lot in those first 3 games, or first 3 teams. Let's go to Denver, where Nikola Jokic will undoubtedly take over that helm. So for Denver, no Monty Morris. So that's going to be a big day for Facundo Campazzo. So let's go 33 minutes for Campazzo. And then let's see what else we got. Man, I'm really going to miss Jamal Murray. That's so annoying. It really, really is. I'm fine with all those Jokic minutes. I'm largely fine with Dozier. Who sees more time here? When do you get the teardrop? Let me think about this. I probably would be able to get that done. No, tomorrow I have a haircut. I'll see what I can put together over the next day or two. Because I need to find a way to automate it. Like, obviously, I could put this out but I need to make sure that the tiers are being put together the way that I think that they should be. I don't want them to come out incorrect. So I need to figure out sort of the mechanism for grouping all of these teams. All right, so is Shaq Harrison just going to get time? Because that would make the most sense to me. I'm going to give him 8 minutes. And then I'm going to give Marcus Howard 11. And the rest of this should be okay. Now, I'll give Marcus Howard 9. Rates should all be the same. Monty Morris isn't going to change anything. I don't have to. I'm not all that worried about Campazzo. So Denver. Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking. So Jokic is at the top of the heap. 11-1 on FanDuel, 11K on DraftKings. Michael Porter Jr. for 7,600 on FanDuel, also going to be outpacing everyone else that we've looked at. Yeah, Jackie. Now that I understand what you were looking for, I can't really look at like individual slates and profitability because because of the top heavy nature of tournaments, you're just not going to profit all that frequently. You know, you're playing for a bigger bump at the top. So I like knowing if my lineup, like what percentile my lineups are in. So you're looking to concentrate as much as you can in theory into, the top 1%, 2%, 3%, etc. But getting those top 1% lineups is helpful. Yeah, Jokic and Porter look really good. Barton, I thought Campazzo would look a little bit better, but he's not a very good fantasy performer, even in 33 minutes. Solid value, more of a cash game play to me. I wouldn't go too crazy on Denver, but I do want to show the relativity of what happens when Denver is in this list because everything's different. You can see Nikola Jokic and Michael Porter Jr. are well ahead of Kobe White to me. So I really like that two-man combo. Big fan of Porter right now. All right, on to the Pistons. Cavs. I hope that there's not a lot of weird stuff going on for Detroit. By the way, shout out to Monkey Knife Fight for being the presenting sponsor of this show. We've got a little bit of a different deal now. So previously, you could do a 100% instant deposit match bonus of up to $50. If you see the banner above my head right now, like way above my head, it's up to $100 now. So if you deposit $100 at Monkey Knife Fight using the promo code Awesemo, you'll get a 100% instant deposit match bonus. So they'll match that with another $100. You really can't beat that. I highly recommend you guys go check that out. And then hit that like button. 80 viewers, 42 likes. We need a couple more. Thumbs ups. Wow, Pistons. Okay, so no Dennis Smith Jr., Jeremy Grant, Mason Plumlee, Corey Joseph, Wayne Ellington, Sekou Doumbouya, Rodney Magruder. Be better off telling me who can play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so they have 10 guys. Servidis is actually going to play, which is hysterical because he's fake. He's a fake NBA player, and he gets to play today. That's insane. Marcus Jones, good morning. All right, so obviously Isaiah Stewart is going to be starting at center. That one is the easiest piece of this to do. I assume that Tyler Cook will be the backup. Oh, no, they've got Jahlil Okafor again. Oh, God. All right, so I assume Okafor will be the backup. That's hilarious. Point guard. Killian Hayes looks good at 27. Saban Lee at the backup. What else we got? Hamidou Diallo just appears to play like 18 minutes a game no matter what. I'll give him 20 just because we're so short-handed. We'll also give... Got to give Tyler Cook some minutes here. Who's going to be playing the 4 for this team? I guess it's technically just going to be Sadiq Bey, even though that's not a real position for him. Man, Kevin Love might smash here. because this is pretty gross. Who are we missing yet? Who are we missing? Servetus and Frank Jackson. Okay. So I think it's going to be something like that, which is comical. I don't think Servetus can play 12 minutes. This is not ideal at all. Somebody's going to get a little bit more minutes than I think they are. I'd like to say it's Amadou Diallo, but he's only played 17 minutes a game for 4 straight games, so I can't really give him the bump. Let's take a look at this and see what this is going to be a problem. It's going to be a real legitimate problem for the Pistons. All right, if I take some of these guys off, I think we might need to actually look at some rates here. Morning, Don. Alrighty. So let's take off Grant and Plumlee, Rose, and Blake. Everybody else probably doesn't matter in that scenario. Yeah, Josh Jackson really cranks up the usage in those scenarios. And really no one else does. Like Killian Hayes is at 18%. So I'm not even going to give him a bigger bump than that. All right, yeah, I trust all of this stuff right now. So here's what we've got for Detroit. Isaiah Stewart, 4,800 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DraftKings. Looking really, really good. Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, Frank Jackson on DraftKings at 3,200. I mean, we're going to be playing a lot of the Pistons. This is not ideal. However, as far as I'm concerned, they are unavoidable right now. Like Josh Jackson with those guys off the floor is a 1.04 fantasy point per minute guy. Got to do it. Jackie, thank you for the super chat. Totally unnecessary, but I appreciate it. You said, greatly appreciate you and the content you provide. Whole team is great. And also the more personal advice when I ask questions. Happy to answer any questions you guys have, especially for the more broad topics too. Well, guys, buckle up because this Pistons team is going to be a very key piece of this slate. And I don't think that there's a person on the planet that wants that to be the case. It's not good. It's not good. The two Jacksons, well, Frank Jackson's not all that great on FanDuel, but Frank Jackson, Josh Jackson, Stewart Bey, Killian Hayes. I mean, we're going to fill up. Look what happens when I add Detroit to this table. Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, Josh Jackson, Killian Hayes. Like, these guys are jammed into the top. There's not really a way to get away from this Pistons team, and that is terrifying. Truly, truly terrifying. Move on to Golden State now. All right. Curry, questionable. Oubre, questionable. Clearly, we know no Wiseman. Juan Toscano Anderson knocked his noodle diving over the table. Eric Paschall out as well. I think we have to assume that Curry is playing. I don't really know about Oubre, but I'm going to assume he's been playing or he's going to be playing as well. Yeah. We're putting everybody back in. I think this could be Oubre's return. Missed the last 5. Cantor, I agree, man. That is an amount of Detroit that I'm not okay with. All right, let's start this one over. So we've got Kevon Looney in for 27 minutes. Draymond at the backup. gives him 35. Steph obviously in for 35. Gary Payton, is he actually getting backup run? I don't think he's going to continue to get it. All right, we know no Juan Toscano-Anderson. So Wiggins, Damian Lee, Jordan Poole. Let me look at something here quickly. Oh, well, it's not Gary. Not Golden State. I don't know what Golden State's going to do with these minutes. Let's give everybody that matters the minutes and find out if it actually is going to make a difference. So we know that Wiggins is going to play, 35 minutes. That's fine. I assume that if Kelly Oubre is back, he just plays his normal run. And then Kent Bazemore is likely to see a pretty sizable chunk of run one way or the other. So let's do something like 26 minutes for Bazemore. Morning, Raspy. Good morning. All right, Jordan Poole, 22 minutes seems about right. Damian Lee probably going to get enough time. And then, one additional person. Let's go Gary Payton. Who cares? Doesn't matter for that last guy. All the rates should be close, but because Oubre is back, I am going to pull the new ones. Take Wiseman off. And that's probably it, right? Like everybody else is still available for this team. So Steph with no Wiseman. Dial that one back a little bit. Draymond, I probably don't have to move at all. Oubre with no Wiseman, 21.5, so we can keep that. Bazemore stays the same. Looney goes down. Wiggins, 23.6. I think we're going to go with something along those lines. So for Golden State, and the Warriors are on the road, 7.5-point dogs taking on Philly. Oof. There's not a lot here. Curry, Oubre, Draymond, I guess, but there's not a single priority for the Golden State Warriors today against the Philadelphia 76ers. I assume there are some priorities on this Houston team, though. Houston, Wall probable. Everybody else that's been out is out. So most of this is going to look the same. Whew. This coffee is helpful today. All right, so we know Wall is going to be back, and if he's back, he's playing big minutes. That's just how this works. Taking on Miami on the road. Raspy, congrats, man. That's awesome. I love seeing people pick up W's. Avery Bradley played bigger minutes. I don't know if that continues. Christian Wood's minutes look fine. Honestly, could be slightly higher, but I get him a lot anyway. Kelly Olynyk's minutes look fine. Honestly, they can be higher. Kenyon Martin's minutes look okay. DJ Wilson's minutes look okay. I think we're good here. I mean, I probably have too many minutes going to Avery Bradley. So let's do that. All these rates for Houston should be the same. Tough spot against Miami. It's rare that we see a lot of guys looking good against Miami, but at the same time, John Wall is 7,800 on FanDuel, 7,900 on DraftKings. He's been at 1.2 fantasy points per minute over the last 30 days. I'm projecting him less than that, but he's still the best play coming from Houston. Rob, I would not want to be playing Garland and Sexton as much as I would want to play like Jared Allen and Kevin Love. All right, so if I add Golden State and Houston, Wall will be in this top group, but I don't think anybody else really will. Yeah, we see John Wall in 4th on FanDuel and 6th on DK. So I like that. On to Indy. Indiana Pacers. Q tag on McBuckets, and that's it. Miles Turner back. So we got to start this one from scratch. Welcome back, Miles Turner. Miles Turner, you were averaging 31 minutes a game when you were gone. I'm going to give you 31 minutes a game. Will Goga be the backup? He was not this most recent game. And that's even without McBuckets. Although I guess that kind of makes some sense. So I'm going to say that Goga continues to be in the rotation. It would surprise me if he didn't. So we'll give him 10. We'll get Sabonis. His 34. His 35. Brogdon in for 34. Raspy, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Totally unnecessary, but appreciated nonetheless. And again, congratulations on the golf GPP. All right, we'll give TJ his 22 minutes. Justin Holiday is going to get his silly 28 minutes. Edmund Sumner going to play his 20 minutes. Running out of bodies here. So I'm going to assume McBuckets plays. Give him 18. So who are we missing so far? Jeremy Lamb. And that's it, really? Do something like that. 10 minutes left. Who do I got to give minutes to? Am I missing somebody? Oh, Karis LeVert. Yeah, good God. I was wondering why this was looking so weird. I'm going to pull Aaron Holiday's minutes. Actually, how do I give Karis LeVert 32 minutes here? Where are those minutes going to come from? Probably coming from Aaron Holiday, right? Like, I don't think they're going to be done with Goga. For some reason, I just couldn't see LeVert's name there. I guess mostly because I try to ignore him as frequently as possible. I don't really know what to do with the rest of this rotation right now. I think the most likely scenario here, because obviously Karis LeVert's getting 30-something minutes. So I need to free up a lot of them. I'm going to pull Goga, I guess. That opens me up for 10 more. So I have to kill 12 more minutes now. Got to be Aaron Holiday. And Sumner. So we're going to do something like that. Rates shouldn't change all that much with Miles Turner back on the floor. I think it should just be everybody's normal stuff. So let's do that and that. Did I? Yeah, I typed. No, I don't want to give Brian Bowen 32 minutes. It's like, why is Karis LeVert? I think Karis LeVert might be the play today. just because of... Yeah, King Hope saw it. I think Karis LeVert might be the play today just because of how much I've ignored him. But there's actually not much going on here for Indiana. Pacers are... Where are we hiding? At home, slight dogs against San Antonio. $6,200 Turner on FanDuel, I'm okay with. No true priorities, though, coming out of this team. Sabonis for 9,400 on DraftKings is a real tough sell. But Indy San Antonio is rarely the game when everybody's at full strength. To the Lakers we go. Lakers, Schroeder probable, Andre Drummond probable. Everybody is probable except for the guys that normally don't play. LeBron and AD. All right, 100 viewers, 61 likes. If we could run that up a little bit more, that would be fantastic. But you guys are doing a fantastic job. I shouldn't say fantastic twice at the same time, but I did. All right, so with Drummond in, he played 30 minutes the last time out. I'm going to just give him 26, however. Trez with the backup run. I go to OT? Yeah, went to OT. So let's go 26-22. Caruso in for 20 minutes seems fine. Everybody else's minutes seem perfectly fine. And all of these rates should already be set to where they need to be. So, for the Lakers, Lake Show. At home, late night hammer, Utah Jazz. All right, so $6,600 Dennis Schroeder would be my favorite option. I am going to dial him back a little bit, though, because I think this game sucks. So Schroeder is the best option coming out of the Lakers. Drummond for $6,900 on FanDuel still looks solid. I don't really want much else from the Lakers, and I don't think that anybody's surprised that we're not trying to get to the Lakers against the Jazz in the late night hammer. Not a good spot. We're moving through this pretty well, I think. 7:08 right now. We're making some pretty good progress. We're on to the bottom half now. On to the Memphis Grizzlies. Another team that I do not enjoy projecting. Grizzlies, Q tag on Dylan Brooks. No Joval. Jaren Jackson Jr. is now doubtful, which is awesome because he has been out for so long that he can slowly work his way back. Q tag on Clark, on Winslow, on Melton. But we know that we're not going to have Joval, and that really opens things up. So I have to assume that Tillman is the guy that's going to benefit the most there. We'll get him in for 26 minutes. Backup center. Jonte Porter could get some time. Brandon Clark, in theory, should get it if he plays. But him playing is up in the air. I'm going to say that Brandon Clark gets the backup center run. Ja Morant's minutes seem fine to me. Tyus Jones' minutes seem fine to me. Grayson Allen can probably afford to get 2 more minutes. Desmond Bane looks good. Dylan Brooks looks good. It's possible that Melton is back. Did some light work on Saturday. I'm going to assume that Melton is not back. So we can give John Conchar 12 minutes. So we need 22 minutes here. I do think that giving a little bit of extra run to Kyle Anderson is essential. Killian Tilly would be the guy that would get the most additional run. So let's do something along those lines. Let's give Tilly 12, and I'm going to give Jonte Porter 8. Rates should all be the same-ish. So what actually, you know what? It's Joval off. The rates are definitely going to change. All right, so let's see what this team looks like with no Valanciunas. And in my opinion, also no DeAnthony Melton. So in those scenarios, Brandon Clark does see a bit of a usage bump. Desmond Bane also does. Dylan Brooks, same. Grayson Allen, usage bump. Ja Morant, usage bump. Yeah, we're good there. Even a bit of an assist bump. Kyle Anderson basically stays the same. Tillman stays the same. Jose Mourinho getting sacked today is hilarious to me. Not a huge fan of him. So that's super funny. I'm indifferent to the Super League. Look, people are always going to make the best decisions based on money. I hope that that's a good thing. I don't hate the idea of it. Obviously, I like the tradition of the Champions League, but I understand why this is happening. All right, for Memphis, Grizzlies on the road against Denver. No Joval. Ja Morant is 6,500 on FanDuel. I know I recommend him a lot. Kind of hard to not want to do that. Tillman is the flat minimum on FanDuel, 3,400 on DraftKings. I mean, there's not really. I mean, he's gonna be a value play all day today. Not a knockdown, drag out, gotta have him type guy, but looks good nonetheless. So let's add Indiana, the Lakers, and Memphis. See where all these guys are lining up now. Indiana, Lakers, Memphis. So we get Ja in the 4 spot on FanDuel. And like, I really am okay with that. Ja, 1.11 FanDuel points per minute over the 378 minutes he's played without Joval. I think that matters. Tillman is going to just be a value piece. But to me, Ja from FanDuel is the best option here. Now we're on to Miami. Unless they have got a bunch of guys out, I can't imagine we're recommending much here. Although it is against Houston, so that will open them up a bit. No Victor Oladipo. Q tag on Jimmy Butler. How Q is Jimmy Butler? So he didn't play yesterday. So I'm going to assume he plays today. So everything here should be mostly the same. 26 minutes for Dragic. Sure. 26 for none. Sure. I'm going to need to get Iggy back on the court. 22 minutes. Deadman actually played yesterday over Precious. Going to do that as well. And then it looks like Ariza's just going to play more minutes. So I'm going to take 2 more minutes away from Tyler Hero and give them to Trevor Ariza. So for Miami, rates are all going to be the same. We will want to keep an eye on that Jimmy Butler news. Bam Adebayo on FanDuel at 7,700 would be my favorite option. Jimmy Butler would be second. Bam even at 8,100 on DraftKings looks good, but I really like Bam here on FanDuel at that 7,700 number. Plus 3.6, so he's actually going to pop in right around Sadiq Bey. I like it. Let's go to Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Bucks at home against Phoenix. Fun game. This is like the opposite of wanting to watch Cleveland, Detroit. 2 really, really, really good teams in Milwaukee and Phoenix. For Milwaukee, Q tag on DiVincenzo, and that's it. We've got Giannis back. I don't think that there's going to be all that much that we need to look into on this one. Expecting Giannis to at least be mildly limited. Brook Lopez, 28 minutes. Bobby Portis, a lot less. So let's go 16, 4, 12. Good morning, Haywood. Good morning. Connaughton just get those minutes, I guess. I think we're pretty good right there. There's not going to be much to really care about here. They don't grade out all that well. Milwaukee against Phoenix, tough spot. There's not I'm not going to recommend Giannis over anybody else that's a pay up option right now. It's not even really all that close. Like if I add Miami and Milwaukee, we'll see these guys, but not nearly where you would want to. Yeah, like Giannis is pretty far down the list. If you're paying up, you're going to Jokic over Giannis by a mile. And then we keep it moving off of Milwaukee straight to the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC, and this one, I mean, this is legitimately a problem. Oklahoma City has a road matchup against the Wizards, so we need to get this one right. No Shea. Everything else looks like it's questionable or fine, so we need to be really, really careful here because there's going to be a lot of value about to pop up for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So Moses Brown played 20 minutes this last time out. Tony Bradley played 19. So now they are starting to run everybody flatter minutes. So let's most recent Oklahoma City rotation. So Moses Brown was good here. They took him off for just a foul, which is kind of weird. Went right back to Tony Bradley for reasons that I don't understand. He did come back in to close, and then they went to Roby instead. So I think that I need to take at least, I'm going to take Moses Brown to 25. We're going to take Tony Bradley to 15. I think Isaiah Roby plays some at the 4, or at the 5 rather. Kenrich Williams is stuck. Actually, 22 minutes seems about right for him. I got Dort at 30. I think that's fine, but I do want to give him an additional minute. Oh, I got to get Pogo Stick back out there too. So Jalen Horde's going to be done. We can bring Svi's minutes down to 20. Maladon at 30 looks fine. Ty Jerome looks fine. So let's move. We'll give Pogo Stick. He came back and played 28. So I need to free up at least 5 more minutes for Pogo Stick. Where do they need to come from? Because it's not Dort. It's not Moses Brown. I mean, it could be Svi a little bit. It might actually be Moses Brown. And Roby, for that matter. Because Baisley's going to play a bunch. Ah, man, I don't like this. All right, we're going to take 2 more off of Roby. Give them the Pogo Stick. I'm going to take 2 more off of Kenrich Williams since he doesn't really matter. That gets Pokuševski to 27. I don't think that Tony Bradley is going to matter, so I'm going to take 1 more here. That'll get me to 28. Let's see what that looks like right now. Also, is Lou Dort's usage rate any higher yet? What do I need to set that to? If I take off Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Al Horford, the 2 pieces of this game that are actually not going to be on there that have played. Double R, you couldn't be more wrong. Lou Dort, 263 minutes with no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and no Al Horford, has a 29.6% usage rate. Craziness. So let's do something like that. Let's see what we got here for OKC. Yeah, so prices on DraftKings aren't ideal, but Maladon, Pogaszewski, Moses Brown, Baisley, Dort, all guys you'll get to today. Dort being 7K on DraftKings makes it pretty tough. The prices here on DK aren't all that awesome. But on FanDuel, unfortunately, like playing Oklahoma City is almost like a necessity. Man, oh man. Do I need to do anything with Maladon here? 21 now? Like, I guess I don't. Look, this pace up spot, like somebody's going to fall into something. If there are turnovers here, it could get really, really ugly. You just got to keep a close eye on this game as we move forward. Got to play Oklahoma City today, everybody. Maybe not in bunches, but in some way. On to the Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers have a Q tag on Curry, on Harris, on George Hill, and on Dwight Howard. I'm going to have to move at least some of this around, that's for sure. So we'll give Dwight the backup run. Written by Jai. That's awesome, man. 35K on DK, single entry. Hit for 750. That's awesome, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, what else we need to do here for this team? So we got to take Shake Milton down, Tyrese Maxey down. So Milton can get 21, 27 for Curry. Mike Scott gets 14. Oh, yeah. We're piecing this together now. Wait, how do I get Ben Simmons more minutes? Who the hell needs to lose them? I still need 2 more. There we go. All right, let's take a peek at that. All these rates need to change and go back to whatever the hell their normal rates are. Get Joel Embiid in there. Do we like Philly against Golden State? You would think we do. Because obviously Golden State is a great matchup from a pace perspective. Jackie, love Pittsburgh. Great place to be. Yeah, Ben Simmons season, Joel Embiid season, a little Tobias Harris season today. I'm very, very happy to get to these guys. Simmons still for 7,100 looks good to me on FanDuel. Joel Embiid looks great on both sides. Let's see. Let's add OKC and Philly. OKC and Philly. All right, so I have Jokic ahead of Embiid by about a fantasy point on FanDuel. It's a bit bigger of a gap on DraftKings. I do like Ben Simmons quite a bit on FanDuel. I know no one's going to be surprised by that outcome, but he's still just 7,100. He's not nearly as good of a play as he is on DK. And I do like Tobias Harris. He looks pretty good. You know, probably in like the 15th range, something in that neighborhood. But I think I prefer Jokic to Embiid. Ownership will tell that story in GPPs, though. All right, 4 to go. Phoenix is the first one up, and I can't imagine this looks good. Cam Johnson in. That's really all that matters. Jared, well, I'm happy to have you. 140 viewers, 87 likes, guys. Can we get to that 100 like threshold before we start running some crunches? Man, I don't know who to give minutes here. All this stuff looks pretty good to me. Jackie, I am, but I spent a lot of time out in Pittsburgh. I had a bunch of friends that went to Pitt and Duquesne. Devin Booker just playing less minutes as of late? Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be the case for today. Man. Yeah, I just don't think that we're going to be playing all that much Philly here. Or Phoenix here. Chris Paul, okay. Bridges, okay. This is basically the same story as it always is. If you get to a guy, one of the starters from Phoenix, you're fine with it. But there are no priorities here against Milwaukee. Not from me. I probably do need to give more minutes to Javon Carter, though. I need to pull those somehow. I just don't know where they're coming from. Not campaign. Okay, nothing changes there. It doesn't matter. Do we ever play a lot of Suns? No, never. 3 to go. On to the San Antonio Spurs. So for the Spurs, DeMar in, Jake Puds in, Patty Mills in, still no Trey Lyles. Not that that matters. So this should be relatively normal. Jakob Poeltl starting. Rudy Gay's minutes look fine. Everybody's minutes here look perfectly reasonable. Morning art by Rojas. All right, San Antonio Spurs. Same rotation as normal. In Indiana. And I actually like some of this stuff. So, no, I got to have Keldon Johnson incorrectly projected here somehow. I guess I don't. Just hasn't been as good as of late. But I like Keldon Johnson for 4,200 on FanDuel. That price tag is just broken. Even though he's been pretty bad as of late. DeJounte Murray, Derek White, both okay. Murray for 7,300 on DK, 7,200 on FanDuel is probably the best overall play from the Spurs. If I add the Spurs in, does anybody show up near the top? It would just be Murray, I think. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of the Keldon Johnson value, but Murray probably the best play coming out of San Antonio. Not the best game in the world. 2 to go. Utah and Washington. The Washington one's going to look pretty interesting. All right, so for the Jazz. No Donovan Mitchell. Obviously got injured a couple nights ago. And that'll be important. So let's get Donovan Mitchell's minutes out of there. Mike Conley's going to firm up at 32, I think. We know that Clarkson is just going to get quite a bit of run now. So we're going to put Clarkson in 30 minutes. Actually, I need to just gut this entire team and start from scratch. Okay, so there we go. Let's work our way through this now. Backup point guard run can go like that. And then we know George Niang is just going to play like 18 minutes because that's what he does, which allows us to go 30 minutes to Royce O'Neal. plus another 4. And then 33 to Boyan. And then 32 to Ingles. So I just need to give one guy additional run. Is it Juwan Morgan? Is it Trent Forrest? We'll give it to Morgan. And now we need to mildly redistribute this usage with Donovan Mitchell out. Because obviously Donovan Mitchell is the biggest usage guy on the team. So this will look a little bit different. 100 likes. There we go. I love it. Let's take out all those usage rates. Let's take Donnie Mitchell off the floor. We'll see where we end up. Favors is questionable, Andres. Won't really matter. Alrighty. So Boyan, 22%. Joe Ingles, 16.5. Bit of a use or an assist bump. Jordan Clarkson, almost 30. Mike Conley gets to 23. Assist bump? Yeah. And the assist rate bump. Royce O'Neal, 11. Fine. Rudy Gobert, 19. So let's go like that. I think that would cover us. So what do we get here for Utah? Guys, if Derek Favors doesn't play, you don't play anybody because of it. It doesn't matter. So Rudy Gobert, I think, is probably the best option. So even with Donovan Mitchell out, I don't really think it opens up anything for the Jazz. The Lakers aren't a great matchup from a fantasy perspective. Gerald, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. Final team, Washington Wizards. Then we're going to run some crunches. Wizards. No Rui. Q tag on Len Bertans is in. Okie doke. So we're going to keep splitting all of these center minutes in a weird way, I'm sure. Oh, yeah, they have Jordan Bell now again, huh? That's necessary, I'm sure. All right, so 37 minutes for Westbrook, good. 36 minutes for Beal, good. I probably want to go to 30 on Denny. I'm going to go to 16 on Gafford. 16 on Robin Lopez. I don't really know what else I could do there. Paolo Neto needs more minutes, as does Ish Smith. So let's try to get those minutes, and we'll take away from Beal for right now. So if I wanted to get Ish Smith to 20, Neto to 18, then I could go 21 and 15. Denny is going to need to move 9 minutes to the 4. So I have 39 minutes left. We got to get Bertans back in there. He hasn't played his last 2 games. So I'm going to give him 26, which means I have 13 minutes left. 13 minutes. Where do they go? Bonga? Feels like Bonga. Should be Chandler Hutchison, but it feels like Bonga. Don't think it matters. So Isak, Bonga, come on down. Rates should all be the same. I don't think Rui would be driving anything, any major changes. So I think that whatever we got in here is going to be good. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not even going to matter. For Washington, we're going to play Bradley Beal on FanDuel at 8,500 because why wouldn't we? We're going to play Russ on DraftKings at 11K because why wouldn't we? I think Russ looks pretty good there, actually. Beal still looks good at 9,200. And then $3,600 Denny. Not something you can ignore if he's going to get additional minutes with some of these guys out, especially with Rui out. So there we go, everybody. 9 games up, 9 games down. Let's run a crunch. Let's figure out where we stand here for today. Appreciate everybody being here. 160 people. We got the 100 likes. Everything's good to go. We got a relatively easy slate tomorrow, too, so we could probably take some questions if we needed to. I've got to scramble today after this show is over. But let's find out the optimal on FanDuel. FanDuel Optimal is Ben Simmons, John Morant, Bradley Beal, Josh Jackson, Michael Porter Jr., Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Xavier Tillman, Nikola Jokic. All of that looks really normal to me. Like Ben Simmons, John Morant, to me, are just underpriced guys that you can get to by saving money on Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. This is a very Josh lineup today. If we don't get a lot of news and like we keep things as they are, and this is like a pretty regular construction for me, I'm going to be pretty happy about it. All right. Power rankings. In. Ugh. Keldon Johnson showing up pretty high there. Makes me feel a little nervous. But at the same time, what can I do? Yeah, I'm on the strategy show today. All right, power rankings are starting to stabilize. Isaiah Stewart, Bradley Beal, Michael Porter Jr., John Morant, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Josh Jackson, Keldon Johnson, Jimmy Butler, Nikola Jokic, DeMar DeRozan, Jaylen Brown, Domantas Sabonis, Will Barton. Has Ben Simmons been good for me at all in the last 5 slates? Yes. I mean, went for 40 plus his last 2 times out. 3 out of the last 5. Take it. Yeah, Isaiah Stewart, though, top of the heap. With everybody out for the Pistons. 4,800. Not really a way to go the other direction. Let's close this one out now with DraftKings. This one should look quite a bit different. A lot of really like 3K Pistons plays are about to show up here. Optimal lineup on DK. Yeah. Frank Jackson, Patty Mills, Michael Porter Jr., Josh Jackson, Isaiah Stewart, Russell Westbrook, Tillman, and Nikola Jokic. So stars and scrubs, you're getting all the way up to the 11K range. Even in the second lineup, you're giving up, 0.4 of a point, but you get Giannis in there with 5 Pistons. Gross. That is truly gross. All right, power rankings, and then we done. Then I need to think about if I can record contenders as fast as I possibly can. I don't know how well that's going to work, but we'll find out. Because I need to be in my car early enough that I can get to my buddy's apartment and get my stuff set up to be able to host the strategy show, which I need to do remotely today. We are turning the power off at this house in 2.5 hours. All right, power rankings for DraftKings slowly coming in. Frank Jackson is at the top of that heap. That is disgusting. Josh Jackson, Tillman, Stewart, Hayes, Bey, Jokic, Michael Porter, John Wall, Dennis Schroeder, Saban Lee, Russell Westbrook, Tobias Harris, PJ Dozier. It's really not helping out that everybody from the Pistons is like $3,200. But like if Frank Jackson's playing 26 minutes and he's 3,200, like that matters. It actually matters. It's awful. Well, that's it, everybody. Power rankings in for DK. They are on the screen right now. We made it through another one. Another process show in the books. Good stuff. What do we got going on for tomorrow? How big is the slate? I think it's 5 games. Yeah, 5-gamer tomorrow, so that'll be pretty easy. Then another monster 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. A 12-game slate on Wednesday. That'll be quite a treat. 6 games on Thursday, and then, a nice manageable 7-gamer on Friday. That I'm excited for. That won't be bad. Guys, I appreciate having you here. It's always nice getting back onto the grind every Monday. feel refreshed, feel energized, ready to attack this slate. And it helps to have a good crew here hanging out with me for the first hour and 10 minutes of my day. So thank you guys so much. Please hit the like button on your way out the door. Subscribe to the channel, notification bell. Keep your eyes peeled for contenders. I don't really know when they're going to come out. If I'm lucky, I crank these things out in the next hour and I can still get in my car and be good. If not, look for them in the afternoon. Strategy show, no Lofty today. Myself and Adam Scher will be breaking it all down, so you don't want to miss that one. And that's it. Good luck, everybody. You know where to be tomorrow morning at 6:30. The only place in the world. Right here. Process show. Rise and grind, everybody. Adios.